April 20th, 2026. The United States House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform sends formal letters to 4 federal agencies: the FBI, the Department of Energy, the Department of War, NASA. They demand answers by April 27th on what they call a string of mysterious deaths and disappearances of American scientists. Congress is using the word sinister in writing for the first time. This is how the case finally went public. And this is the board. Last episode, I asked you who took Monica Reza and who walked the general into the desert. You didn't disappoint. One of you said a foreign intelligence service recruited them and they walked off on purpose. One of you said they saw something they weren't supposed to see, and somebody made sure they didn't talk. One of you said, "I swear this is a real comment. It was the rocks. I appreciate the commitment." Pin the first 2. We're coming back to them. Now, the cases I didn't tell you about yet, because if I'm going to put 11 names on a corkboard, I've got to tell you which of them belong there, and which of them maybe don't. Carl Grillmeyer, the Caltech astrophysicist shot on his porch in February. Killer arrested. Violent record. The sheriff says random. Nuno Loureiro, 47 years old, director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center, answered his own door in December 2025. The man who shot him had opened fire at Brown University 48 hours earlier. A mass shooter on a spree. Killed himself days later. Jason Thomas, Novartis pharmaceutical researcher, reported missing December 12, 2025. Body recovered from a Massachusetts lake in March. Reporting indicates he had recently lost both of his parents. The DA has announced no evidence of foul play. 3 cases, 3 official explanations. Case closed. And yet they are still on the board Congress is investigating. Why? Because there is a theory, and it is the theory the internet cannot stop talking about. It goes like this. Neil McCaslin commanded Wright-Patterson's laboratory. For 70 years, Wright-Patterson has been the beating heart of American UFO folklore. Every whistleblower with a saucer story eventually points at that base. A former Air Force intelligence officer named Matthew Sullivan was scheduled to testify in 2024. He died before he could testify. The congressman leading this investigation, Eric Burleson, has called that death suspicious. Amy Eskridge, an anti-gravity researcher in Alabama, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in 2022. Her work was about exotic propulsion, the kind of propulsion people whisper about when they whisper about UFOs. Every law enforcement official who has spoken publicly has pushed back on the UFO angle. Families have pushed back. The sheriff has pushed back. But the theory isn't going away, because the pattern it describes, whistleblowers dying, researchers vanishing, is the exact pattern this theory would predict. That doesn't make it true. That makes it unfalsifiable. And unfalsifiable is how a theory survives forever. Theory 2 is Congressman Burleson's theory. He said it on Fox News. Foreign intelligence operatives targeting American scientists is the most likely explanation. The case is ugly simple: nuclear weapons, reusable rockets, fusion energy, planetary defense systems that double as missile technology. Every one of these fields is something Beijing or Moscow would pay almost any price to slow down. A former FBI assistant director said it's modern-day espionage. But the counter-argument from James Walkinshaw is a good one. The United States has thousands of nuclear experts. You don't meaningfully kneecap an entire weapons program by taking out 10 or 12 individuals. That's not how sabotage math works. Theory 3 got almost no media coverage until Fortune magazine laid out the numbers. In April 2025, Space Force awarded SpaceX roughly $6 billion and Blue Origin roughly $2.3 billion in national security launch contracts. In March 2026, Blue Origin unveiled a planetary defense concept using ion beam deflection technology that overlaps with missile defense. Monica Reza's patented alloys feed directly into this commercial pipeline. Michael Hicks's asteroid research underlies it. Mywald's instruments overlap with it. The theory asks whether the rapid privatization of government work has created pressures the old oversight structure isn't equipped to police. Theory 4 is the boring theory, and I owe it the same seriousness as the others. 700,000 Americans hold top-secret clearances. Over 4 years, statistics predict roughly 250 homicides and suicides in that population, plus thousands of natural deaths. Benjamin Radford calls this mystery-mongering data mining. The Atlantic literally named this the single dumbest conspiracy theory of 2026. Retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer called them standalone incidents with pragmatic explanations. That might be the most important sentence in this whole series. It also might be wrong. 4 theories. 4 ways to read this board. But here's what I can't explain away. No matter which theory I try on, no matter how generous I am to the skeptics. 2 people, Reza and McCasland, an Air Force-funded rocket materials program, 2 decades ago. 8 months apart, both of them vanished. One on a hiking trail in daylight, one out her own front door into the desert at dawn. The committee flagged that connection in writing. Nobody in the federal government has explained it. That's the thread I can't cut. I'm done talking. You've got the facts, you've got the theories, you've got the board. So here's the finale question. Name your primary suspect. Give me one piece of evidence from this case that supports your theory, and tell me the one question Congress should ask the FBI. I will read every answer. The most persuasive responses get read aloud, on camera, with your username on the corkboard in a follow-up episode next week. Because whatever this is, coincidence, espionage, cover-up, nothing at all, it is not going to be solved in Washington. It is going to be solved by people paying attention. And the people paying attention right now are you. Visit unbedsidemanners.com for more stories. Drop your verdict, pin your theory, share the board. Like and share this video to help find the truth. The case is yours.